When writing your visual tests with Applitools, some of the SDKs provide helper methods such as eyes check window that allows you to capture the whole window in one method. While this does include a little less syntax for you to write, it limits your ability to target exactly what you need inside of your application. Instead, we can use the Fluent API by using the check method, which allows us to be as specific as we want for the region that we want to test. So if I instead wanted to use the Fluent API, I would first update my check windows to just simply check. Now, similar to check window, we can pass in our first argument, which is going to be the tag for our particular check. Then as a second argument, I would pass in the target that I want to test. So to start, we want to make sure we have target imported. But then as my second argument, I'm going to specify my target, where in this case, I'm going to say I still want to target the window, and I'm going to capture it fully, which means I'm going to capture the entire page. Another way of writing this is by passing in the target as the first argument, where just like before, I can target my window and I can say fully, but then I'm going to pass in a method with name, where then I can pass in my tag. Now, as I mentioned before, this gives us the ability to be more specific with how we actually target our application. So for instance, if I only wanted to target the table on this page, we can create a new eyes.check, where this time I'm going to pass in a tag of transactions table. But this time, as my second argument, I'm going to pass in the target and I'm going to use the method region, where after importing my by, inside of my region, I can specify by class name, where in this instance, I can use the class of table. And finally, if I wanted to capture this table, but say I wanted to ignore the header of this table, I'm going to first duplicate this line and I'm going to call this my tag of without header, where I can use this exact same target region in order to get my table. But then I can additionally append the ignore method, where I can use by just like I passed into the region, but I'm going to use by tag name. And for this, I'm going to pass inthead. And once our test is finished running, we'll be able to see that not only do we get this login form and the transactions page in its full entirety, but we were able to target just the transactions table itself, as well as the table, while being able to ignore the header. To learn more, head over to the Applitools docs, where you'll be able to find examples of how exactly you can use the Fluent API, as well as documentation on how you can use the Fluent API with your favorite SDK.